What I will do is that I will post in the app a routine that I go through which just relaxes me in different positions. If you've been driving or you've been flying to a gig, you might be all tense and everything. And to be able to relax these muscles and to be able to get into the zone and clear your mind can really, really help. But I am going to do two things. And one of them is the breath. So those people that would like to get involved, if you wouldn't mind standing up. If you don't want to get involved, please don't worry. I don't want anyone hiding in the loos crying at the end of this. Oh, there he goes! Okay. So you need to breathe from your tummy. You need to make sure that you don't breathe like this, because this can cause tension here. And I want to avoid that. So I want you to breathe in from your tummy to 4. Breathe in 1, 2, 3, 4, and hold for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and breathe out for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and breathe in 2, 3, 4. Hold 2, 3, 4. Breathe out 2, 3, 4. Okay, do sit down. We could do this for a while. Deep breathing, never a bad thing. But what happens, one of the things is that your heartbeat reduces. You can start getting into the zone, start clearing your mind, start thinking about, I'm excited, I'm really going to do a good gig, I'm going to change things for the audience, I'm going to give them something that they can go away with. It's a great way to do this. The other thing is something that I call diva feet. Diva is not a stroppy footballer. Diva in Italian means leading lady. The gentleman's version is divo. And the idea of this is that something that other people have told me that they do independently, but it's a way to stand and you can anchor yourself. So when you're nervous during a talk, you can just readjust without other people seeing. So those people who'd like to be involved, if you wouldn't mind standing again. And you will see that my feet are hip width apart. And I adjust my weight so that it's not too far back or not too far forward, not one leg or the other. So put the weight on the balls of the feet and the heels. Just a little bit like that. Often what I do is to just bend my knees slightly and bounce. I mean, obviously you can't do this in front of the audience. And then slowly straighten up, but don't lock your knees. And you'll find that the weight is on your feet. And all of that tension has dropped from your shoulders. You feel that? I'm looking around the room and I can feel a lot more energy because that tension's gone through my shoulders and everything. Should we just try that again, just so you can access it? So really think about the balls of your feet and the heels. Make sure that they are on both of the balls of the feet and both of the heels. If you need to, and straighten your knees, but not lock them. And feel how much stronger you feel. You feel that you are attached to the floor and you get power from the floor. Your tension's gone from your arms and you feel free. Now, do sit down. There are occasions when I feel nervous in the middle of a talk and I won't go. But I'll just adjust my feet a little bit and it just helps me to get rid of that tension again. It's an old diva trick, but it is one that really, really works as a relaxing anchor. I know that Michael mentioned this morning. We can do all of these things, but we can self-sabotage. Earlier this year at Wimbledon, there was a player called Nick Kyrgios, the bad boy of tennis. And he had a grudge match against Nadal. And the night before, instead of practicing or having an early night, he was found in Wimbledon Village snogging and drinking. And the day of this big match, he turned up, only did a little bit of warming up, looked as though he had a hangover, and lo and behold, he didn't win the match. But he had a great excuse because he was out snogging the night before. And yet he could have won because he had beaten Nadal before. Are there occasions when you self-sabotage? Perhaps you're late. Perhaps your slides don't work because you've not checked them. Or perhaps you get a sore throat, or you don't sleep well the night before, and so you're not fresh. I want you just to consider that, because you want to be the best that you can be. And it might be fear that is stopping you putting that practice in. So honestly look internally and think about whether you are self-sabotaging. So as I mentioned before, I have got an app, the Superstore Communicator App. There is absolutely. There is a slide in the slides and learning for this event. And I've put a couple of podcasts, more information about that MRI scan that Alex Honnon did, and I'll put some more things in there. I'll put the QR code after this, but one more thing before I finish, and that is something that I did just before I walked on stage, and it's what I call power breath. I've done all of these other things, I've done my routine, I've got my diva feet, all of that stuff. But I do a power breath. This is something that I learned from even when I was at the Birmingham Repertory Theatre as a junior performer. And that is that you breathe in a couple of times the way that you want your emotion to be. So if you're in the theatre, of course, if you're nervous, you're going to go like that. But we can breathe in excited or impactful or confident. So for those people, just one more stand, just to get you up. I want you to just breathe in an impactful way. So 1, 2, 3, and then you go on stage. Just that moment. So let's practice. Let's do this time. Let's do confident. 1, 2, 3. And you feel confident because your brain has reprogrammed things. So don't forget your power breath before you go on stage. Do sit down. I'm Susan, and I always get nervous before speaking. But I know that there are lots of things I have put in place, from knowing what I'm going to say. I have a safe environment so that I feel confident. I know my stuff, I know my audience, I have warmed up, I've done my power breath, I've got my diva feet. I walk on stage, I enjoy it. Thank you.
Fantastic, that was brilliant. And there's the QR code, so get your phones out.